Okay, do the right part right here. Explain how to graph with slope-intercept form using slope and the y-intercept. You should know how to graph with point slope and how to graph in standard form. Standard form, I call it the cover method, but that's a shortcut. That's not the correct version, but it's the easiest way to explain it. So you should know how to graph that. This is graphing with slope-intercept. Use another separate sheet of paper, preferably graph paper if you have any. I may give some graph paper today at your table. You know how to graph A and B. Graphing C, this is Y1, X1. It's remember Y minus Y1 equals to M parentheses X minus X1. So to get this plus, this number had to be a negative, right? To get a plus, because it should have been a minus, that number had to be a negative. So Y1 had to be -1. X is 8. So starting at that point, if you have graph paper starting at 8, -1, from there you go up 3 over 1. So I don't have graph paper here, and I can't with this. So starting at 8, -1, so 8 right here, -1, you go up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 4, like that. 3 over 4, or 3 over 4, and then draw the line. It should look something like that, okay? On graph paper, hopefully I remember to put some on your desk today. If not, do your best on line paper. Why? Okay, so this is 4, y1 is 4, x1 is 6. So this is 6 and 4. Start from there, go down -2 over 3. Okay, number 2, using the intercept. The intercept says, okay, the best way for me to do it is pretend this isn't there. So I'm finding the x-intercept, x equals to 48. And then divide by 4. My x-intercept is when x is 12. So or 12, 0. That is when y is 0. They're saying when y is 0, what is the x? And that's 0. That's why we cover that all together and get that. And then finding the y-intercept is, in a y-intercept we have 0, whatever, right? So if x is 0, that's 0, so we can cover that. 6y equals to 48. Y then is 808. Same thing here, so do the same. Get another sheet of paper, or label A, label B, write small, 2A, and then somehow fit 2B. But I prefer you be doing this on a separate sheet of paper. Eugene bought magazines for $6 each and paper books for $3 each for the total of this. Okay, each means times. Magazines, I'm going to give it X. Paperback books, I'm going to give it Y. Okay, for the total of that, define your variable, write an equation in standard form to represent the situation. Okay, this is 6 times X, so that's 6X, plus the paperback book. They're $3 each, equals to a total of 54. X represents the number of paperback books, a number of magazines. Don't just write magazines. It's the number of magazines Eugene is buying. But we don't want to write all that, the number of magazines Eugene is buying. Y is the number of books, paperback books he's buying or she's buying. Number of paperback books. Do it on paper. Calculate the X and Y-intercept for this problem situation, okay? So B, I'm going to look for this work. So you would write 6X into another. Equals to 54. Divide by 6. You get 9. X equals to 9. So 9 number of magazines, 9 magazines. And to find paperback books, 3Y equals 54. Paperback books. Okay, graph the equation using the intercept. So I need to do it on graph paper. If you've forgotten that, it is very easy. This is 9, 0, so number it up to 9, wherever that would be, put 9, 0, and that is 18. You may want to number it by 6. 18, 0. You want to number this by a different one, it's fine. Calculate the intercept of this. Calculate and interpret the slope of this line, okay? Find the slope of this line, 6X plus 3Y equals to 54. Okay, you would minus 6X, right? And then divide all of it by 3. Okay, so a shortcut of that, what they do is, you don't have to write all that. You can do that, write it once. And that gives you Y. You know that 3 divided by 3 is 1Y. 3 divided by is 18. And 3 divided by 6 is negative 2. So the slope is down to right 1, right? So you buy 2 less books. That for every 2 less books, you buy 2 less books for every 1 paperback. For X is changing magazines. Basically, you buy 2 less books, 2 less magazines, 2 less. Did I do it correctly? Two less magazines. Than paperback books over X change in Y. Okay, and then graph it. Okay, I think we can skip this stretch, right? No, Don't skip scratch. Write point slope and slope intercept form of a line equation in terms of the constant from the standard form. Okay. So I'll let you do this. Write an equation that in standard form, any equation. So make sure yours is different than mine. I'm going to choose one that can be divided by divide into 2. I'll make this negative so it can turn out positive. Because you add to both sides. You can also do, you can do 4. You're going to use 2. And then I want to see what you do with that equation. Make it in point slope and then in slope intercept. Try it and see. Review. So I need to cover those first. Write an equation in point slope form of each problem. Oh, that's it. Well, we just did that. Y minus y1 m parentheses x minus x1. So your problem then is y minus 12 equals m is what? Negative 8. Okay. Parentheses x minus 3. Okay, on B you have to find slope first. So I have a little room here, so I'm going to find slope. Well, m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so I can do, be careful here. That's double negative. I'm going to check for that on your work and see what your answer is. And then write it in point slope, okay? That means once you find slope, you can use any point you want. I'll look for your answer here, seeing if you get it or not. As x sub 1, y sub 1, or you can use this one as x sub 1, y sub 1. You don't need to do 2, because I didn't really teach it, because you have to make sure every slope. Actually, yeah, I did teach it. If the y-intercept, do that. Find slope of a line. I'll do this one here. No, that one's decimal. I'll let you do that one. I'll show the answer. Make sure you do it on a separate sheet of paper. This can be long, you know. Slope is 48 minus that negative 24. That makes it a plus. Over, I'm going to check this because you guys need to know how to do these. The review one from now on, I'm going to check it very carefully because I need you to remember for your test. 60, 72, 3, m equals to 24, right? Check it. Yep, that's 72. Okay, now let's see if x is 0. If x is 0, find what y is. I don't know if I've taught. There's 2. I think I taught you using slope. An easier way is using slope intercept. Whichever way is fine. There's many ways. You can use it using point slope. There's many ways. Once you have an equation, you put it in. I'll use this because they're positive. I do not like negatives. I make mistakes. You get 48 equals to m. M is 24. We don't know what x is. We need to find it. Plus, x, we do know x. Sorry, x is X is 2, right? We know what X is. And we're going to find Y there. 48 equals to 48 plus Y, you minus 48. I should have taught it to you this way when the book showed you another way. 0 equals to Y. Yes, this is proportional. Because the y-intercept is at 0, 0. If it's not at 0, 0, then it's non-proportional. So do the same here. Pick good ones. I would pick 2, this one and that one, because it's, it has a placement value where you get 0 there. Easy, Or 5 and 15. Use good ones. Know how to choose. Solve each equation. Oh yes, I want to see if you know how to solve this. Why do they have, maybe it's from, I hope you learned this in 7th grade. Minus 10, minus 10, 0. You solve it like a normal, not equal sign, just with inequalities. No problem with that, right? 2 negative is a positive. 7. Okay, now when you need to be careful here, it's the same thing, but a little bit different. That's 0 less than 8, right? 8, not 8. No. 12, 12. I added 8 to 14 and didn't get it. Negative, because the bigger number is negative. Negative 4x. Now, if you've forgotten, when you divide by a negative, the inequality switches. X equals to positive 3, like that. Okay? And then that's the equation of a line. Oh, those are the answers. I think that's it. I'm checking your work.